we now get into one. Bill O'Brien and the job that he has as the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. And that job is getting the quarterback room to work here for Alabama. Whether it's Bryce Young, whether it's Paul Tyson, whether it's Jalen Milroe, getting one of these three to hit. Because once he gets one of these three to hit, everything else will fall into place here for the Crimson Tide. Now, remember, last year around this time, the concern was, is Mac Jones the guy? Can Mac Jones really do it? We got the offensive line at Alabama. You got the receivers. You got the running backs. The concern so many people had was, I really don't know if Matt can do it. I really don't know if Matt can put up the points. I really don't know if Matt can lead this team. And all Mac Jones did is gave the gracious middle finger to all of the criticism with his play, led this team to the CFP National Championship, won the National Championship, and picked up a number of individual accolades to boot with that. So now we look at where we are in this situation. You have three very talented arms. You have three very capable players. You have three strong character young men that are all battling for this one position, for this one job, and being the starting quarterback for Nick Saban at Alabama. And O'Brien has the esteemed responsibility of seeing which one of these young men, which one of this trio here can I get to work. And he doesn't have to be exactly like Steve Sarkisian, because we understand it's going to be a job for O'Brien to come in, to learn all three of these names, to learn the personnel around all three of these names, at receiver, at running back, on the offensive line, at tight end. But all he's got to do, come in here, see, which skill set can he work the best with, and get one of these three to be successful. Now, the one huge thing about Bill O'Brien is he works very well with quarterbacks, and he always has worked well with that position. In 2011, he had Tom Brady. He had the 43-year-old future first ballot Hall of Famer in Tom Brady. 2011, as the offensive coordinator for the Patriots. Brady, in his illustrious career, he's only had one 5,000-yard passing season. Just one 5,000-yard season for Brady in his career, and it came under O'Brien. 2011, Brady, 5,235 passing yards at career high, 39 touchdown passes, had a passer rating of 105.6. So we see the success that O'Brien has had with Brady. When you look at Deshawn Watson, He had Watson for 3 to 4 years, but in 2 of those years, when you discuss 2018 and 2019, a 3,000-yard passer was Watson in both of those years. 2018 had the monster year, 4,165 yards, 26 touchdowns to 9 picks. A passer rating of 103.1. The Texans were 11-5 that year, won the AFC South divisional crown. 2019, another 10-win season for Houston. Watson, 3,852 passing yards, 26 touchdowns to 12 picks, had a passer rating of 98.2. That team, a 10-6 record right there. So we're seeing the success here that O'Brien had with a dual threat quarterback in one Deshaun Watson. Then in the college game, when he was at Penn State, he had 2 guys, Matt McGloin and Christian Hackenberg. First and foremost, McGloin, 2012 here, a former walk-on. McGloin, 3,271 passing yards, 24 touchdowns, just 5 picks. He put McGloin in the NFL. And then last but not least, where Hackenberg is concerned, Christian Hackenberg in 2013, we're looking at 2,955 passing yards, 20 touchdowns, 10 picks. He put McGloin on the NFL roster. The young man was actually drafted in the second round of the 2014 venue, if I'm not mistaken. McGloin was drafted right there. So by the Jets, by the New York Jets. So we have seen a success here with Bill O'Brien in coaching quarterbacks and producing quarterbacks and getting these particular young men to pop at that position and have success. Now, kind of a fun comparison thing here, if you will, is we're going to take a dive and look at the guys on the roster for Alabama in comparison with the guys that O'Brien has coached in the NFL tenure here. So first and foremost, as we look at Bryce Young, for example, when we look at Bryce Young carries some similarities to Deshawn Watson. Now, he's not as big as Deshawn is. Watson, much bigger body, much bigger frame than Bryce Young. But in terms of the skill set, the skill sets are similar. Deshaun Watson loves to run to set up his throwing motion. He also loves to run to escape the pocket, to pick up yards with his feet. That's what he enjoys doing. So when you look at Bryce Young, this is somebody that has that dual threat capability. He can break and tear the pocket. He can escape the pocket. He can run with the football, but he can also break, contain to set up his throwing motion. He runs to set up his arm to get passes down the field in extending plays. Young likes to extend plays. Deshaun Watson likes to extend plays. So if this is the move here for a Bill O'Brien, can he pull more of that out of Bryce Young? Not only just the ability to extend the play, but also stand in that pocket if he needs to and pop those throws downfield and vertically stretch the opposing defense. That's another thing that Watson does. If he feels like I don't have to pull the ball down and run, or I don't have to extend the play by breaking containment of the pocket in my throwing ability, Watson has also been able to develop more so as being a pocket guy. He can step back there in that pocket. He can go through progressions A, B, C, what have you, and spray the ball, deliver the football to different guys downfield, and share that wealth with his receiving options. So for Bryce Young, he has a lot of those skill set, a lot of those traits to Deshaun Watson right there. When I look at a Paul Tyson, if Tyson's the guy, he's got a lot of those Tom Brady type traits. Not overly athletic as Paul Tyson, but very high football IQ. Much like Tom Brady, very high football IQ. A guy that's got the leadership traits to bring to the table. When Tom Brady's in the huddle, you feel like you can win any football game because you know, I got TB12 in my huddle. I got TB12 as my quarterback. We're going to win every game. Why? Because he's going to put the ball at that right spot. He's going to guide receivers down the field. He's going to put us in the right checks in pass protection and the right checks in terms of run blocking. He's going to get us into the right play, and he is going to lead us effectively, efficiently, but he can also be explosive with it. As we have seen Tom Brady throw for 50 touchdown passes, throw for 40 touchdown passes, throw for 500 yards, 400 yards in his career as a quarterback. And when I look at Paul Tyson, he's got the exact same ability. Very high football IQ. This is somebody who busts out a score of over 30 on the math part of the ACT. I was just blessed to make a 19 on the ACT, period. Paul Tyson bust out a 30 plus on the math part of the ACT. So he is processing this information on the field, and not just processing the information, he is now going into his third year in the system. So he knows the playbook. He knows the scheme. He knows the strategy. He's built at 6'5", 230 plus pounds, so he's got the body. He's got a very lively arm, can put the ball anywhere on the field, can make all the throws. So a guy that's got the IQ of Brady, the intelligence of Brady, the leadership capability of Brady, and he's got the live arm there on display. So there is the comparison of a Paul Tyson to a Tom Brady capability right there. And then you have Jalen Milroe, of whom, to me, he's kind of the wild card. We had his coach on, his high school coach on Friday of last week, Todd McVay, who's the head football coach at Tompkins High School out of Katy, Texas, and he talked about how Milroe, he likes being a dual threat. He likes to escape the pocket. He likes to extend the play. But at the same time, he takes his accuracy, he takes his precision, his ball placement, his pocket awareness, his pocket presence very seriously. He takes that into strong consideration. He takes that to heart. So with him being kind of a mixture here, I look at he's got the extending ability of a Deshawn Watson, that ability to break contain the pocket and make plays with his feet, but he's also got the pocket awareness, got the want to have pocket discipline, got the want to stay in that pocket and make those reads down the field like a Tom Brady. So Milroe gives you kind of a mixture, the best of both worlds of both of those two. But the question is, as we look at Bryce Young, as we look at Paul Tyson, as we look at Jalen Milroe, which one gives Bill O'Brien the best chance to be successful? Which one gives Bill O'Brien the best chance to come in here, make that seamless transition as an offensive coordinator and a play caller and a quarterback's coach? Which one puts Bill O'Brien in the best possible situation and the best case scenario here to be successful? I go back to when the national championship game ended back on January 11th. We all saw Mac Jones give the ball to Bryce Young, and so many people looked at that as symbolic. It's now Bryce's time. It's his moment, and he is the quarterback that so many people, you want to see Bryce work. You want to see Bryce succeed. You want to see Bryce be the guy because of the success that he had in a powerhouse program, Modern Day High School in California, and all of the accolades he was able to obtain from his time there. So you want to see Bryce succeed. But aside from that, you want to see Paul succeed because he is here as a guy that is, yes, Paul Bear Bryant's great-grandson, but bigger than the name. He's got the body, he's got the arm, he's got the mindset, he's got the ability. And to me, he's Mac Jones 2.0. Yes, he's had to wait his time, but in his mind, it's the moment I get my shot, I'm taking full advantage of it, and I'm showing you what I can do out here on this field. And then you have Jalen Milroe, of whom people are saying, don't sleep on Milroe, don't sleep on him. He's talented, he's good. You saw what Jalen Hurts did as a freshman, 2016, from Texas, came in, said my time is now, and booted everybody else into that transfer portal. So for Bill O'Brien, can he get the quarterback to pop? Can he get the right one to be successful? And of the three, which one gives him the best chance to be successful as a play caller? This is the reason why we need to have spring football. Thank you for watching Touchdown Alabama Magazine's YouTube channel. To continue to get the best in Alabama football content, subscribe here and turn on your notifications to stay connected with the hottest shows covering your Crimson Tide.